Greetings, and thank you for joining us this evening, or this morning, or this cloudy day in Barovia, as Crit Eating Grin presents to you a D&D 5e real play of Curse of Strahd. It's a campaign setting from Wizards of the Coast, as much of you, or many of you know. At the table are the wandering travelers, who will cast their dice in their quest to save themselves and Barovia.
I got a 5.
I am Grin Master Eric, who will be your guide through the shadowy, mist-filled lands that they wander. So, we pick up in a wagon. Who is all in the wagon? If I remember correctly, it was Rhodes and it was Avram that were driving the wagon.
I was walking alongside.
I was walking.
Okay. If I remember correctly, I think Esmeralda went with you, but
She's with us. Yep.
Rictavio / Rudolph. His real name is Rudolph. His cover is Rictavio. To clarify, after listening to those episodes, I want to be clear. Rudolph was doing kind of his own thing.
He is like setting up our shit in town, from what I remember.
Okay.
What is his fake name and how do you spell it?
Rictavio.
His Rictavio.
I'm just gonna.
Yep.
Just
Wing it.
We know
His real name is Rudolph.
Yes.
Van Ricketen. Yes, Rickten. You know that he is basically like a Van Helsing.
Yep.
Oh,
Helsing.
yeah.
Van Helsing.
And she is kind of like, I don't remember what's her name's name in that.
She's
Yeah.
she's
Kate Beckinsale was kind of
Yeah.
like
The underling?
Minty or
Yeah.
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 So it's kind of like
Assistant to the regional werewolf hunter.
So,
Yeah.
as I recall, as you traveled into the mist, it was very thick. There was no protection.
Yeah.
Like before, you didn't have that kind of like bubble-ish.
Yeah.
And I think I described it as like almost like curtains kind of closing as you guys traveled deeper into the southern region where this camp is. It is going to be about a 15-20 minute ride. I'd like one of you to start the game off with rolling a d20, please.
Yeah. Give us that too.
13.
Let me refer to the book's pain charts.
And the pain index, 5,000 out of 1 out of 10.
It's in here.
I'd like to know a reference point that for our experience as we are now no longer in the land of the strictly living per se. Are we experiencing the fog differently now? Are we
No.
with the fog?
No. To clarify also, you feel as if you're slowly being drained of life. So every time you guys, that's another thing we want to try to keep straight and keep going for thematics and storytelling. Every time you take a long rest, you will need to roll a d6, and you will lose that much max HP to your overall HP. Once you hit 0, things can happen.
Yeah.
Um,
I would imagine.
Both on our max HP or also when we hit 0.
It's more or less when you hit 0 on your max HP. And remember, obviously, for those listening or watching, thank you. You can heal up to what your current max is, just for people at the table who are aware. So, like, if you get to a max of like 10, you can only heal up to 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so we're
Love that.
So as we're walking to the standing camp, I would love to sidle up next to Esmeralda.
Yep. You will see that she is actually she'll be in the cart. Probably close to the side in which you're going to approach her. She's
inside the cart?
Yeah, she's riding in the cart.
Okay.
I think it was Rumbles was the new horse in Ridges. She is actually going to be like twisting on looks like silvered heads to crossbow bolts, as if she's preparing her kit. Correct.
As we're walking, I would love to say Thieves' Camp to see if she just understands it. I would love to say something along the lines of like, "Hey, do you understand me?" Which I'm sure just sounds like absolute
apples and oranges. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm like, "Oh yes, the watermelon in the sky looks like a
6s and 7s.
beautiful conglomerate of seeds."
Let me just check her statistics in ye old tome of Strahd here. I know it's back there.
Knowing that what's his name was probably writing in code, or
She looks confused at what you're trying to say. Let me roll something here. One die. She understands what you're trying to do, but she doesn't understand the underlying tone. Does that make sense?
She doesn't understand what I'm saying.
She doesn't understand
But she
these
knows
can't,
that
but
I'm
she
speaking.
knows you're using some sort of roguish technique or
Okay.
something. She's traveled around and versed enough.
I'll just say, common. I want to talk to you later, and I'll just walk out of the cart. Super fucking frustrated.
Pick that up, like what he was trying to.
So give me what's your stealth?
A bajillion. Plus 10.
All right, so if you have a passive perception of 20, then you would have picked up on it. All right, so he was subtle enough to basically.
I just look over at you and I'm like, why is he always mumbling about gibberish? Like, most of the time he makes sense, and then all of a sudden he'll just be. Maybe he thinks he's poetic.
It sounds like he's trying to like write poems.
Yeah. I've seen scholars trying to do this before, and better than that, but
It is lonely at the top, I guess. You know what
yeah.
they say. So.
Yeah. It's pretty
Maybe
weird,
we'll get him a poetry book, how to write poetry.
if we survive all this, I
He'll
think
have
that would be
something to write
nice.
about for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a lot of eerie sounds coming from the sides of the pathway. The pathway is very narrow. It's just enough for the cart to fit on.
Okay.
It is very rough, so there's a lot of rocks and dips and mud. There is going to be a point halfway between from where you started this trek to where you're going. There is a large clap of thunder that almost shakes you to the core, and then a torrential rainfall just dumps out of nowhere as if the sky itself is angered and weeping.
I look like a wet rat right now.
How far are we from camp? It said about a 15-minute ride.
Yeah, so you're about halfway there at this point.
I think you probably just see Ben on the side of the cart just going, this is so fucking annoying. And he's just constantly twirling his one finger, and for like each second a water falls on him, it immediately dries from his clothing. And I'm just repeatedly casting prestidigitation over and over again to keep myself dry. And he's not doing it intentionally, it's just more like he's just like kind of gesturing at the sky, or like doesn't want this to be happening, and he's just pissed.
Would we say it's like cold in Barovia?
I'm going to say that the temperature was like a very cool 65, 70
This rain
degrees.
is cold.
It is drastically dropping the temperature, probably to the point by the time you get close enough to the camp, you may be able to vaguely see your breaths coming out. And the rain, you can do that. The rain is relentless, and the lightning and thunder becomes immense.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything like this since you've been here, and the mist or fog is still very thick. Your visibility is going to be drastically cut.
So not just our visibility is cut, is our sound cut as well? Like when
Yep,
we're
because of
talking to each other?
because the sound of the rain is kind of that white noise, deafening sound, just constantly hitting. You might hear a whole lot of I don't know, like the tree leaves are being pelted with the raindrops. The activity as far as like creatures or ambient noise from out living things doesn't seem to be as pronounced because most of those are scattered away. Correct.
Is this slowing down our trek as well?
Currently, no, because the pathway is not drenched yet, but you can tell that it's going to, if it consistently keeps this pace, it's going to make things extremely difficult to travel. It will probably become hindering or rough terrain.
Am I noticing? I'll take a look at the wheels just naturally as I'm constantly casting prestidigitation. Does it look like the wheels are starting to sink into the mud, or does it look like mud is catching on them?
At this point, it's probably more of like it's going to start getting mud on them, but it's not like sinking yet.
Okay. I'm going to recognize what I'm, like, just as I've been air drying myself. I'm going to recognize what I'm doing in order to not slow our travel down. I'm going to yell over, I'm assuming you're on the other side of the cart?
Yeah.
I'm going to yell loud enough so people can hear us. We should probably keep an eye on the skies or the forest because bad shit has happened. There was a dragon, I heard. And I'm going to start cleaning the wheels. So anytime I see mud clot up, I'm going to...
I'd like to be a little bit of an asshole. Would I be able
Now,
to
if you
clearly...
do that, Your passive perception will, if they're...
I'm choosing to not. pay
Okay, I just
attention.
want to make sure we're on the same lines there.
I want my investigation focus to be on the wagon because I know
Sure.
I know our wagon is fucked to begin with.
Right. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, so like if something happens, that will not be... Okay.
My perception
Is to
not
take care of the wagon.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Rumbles is the horse.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Niley. Got that right after many
Yeah.
episodes.
Oh, thanks. The rate, I feel like, for one, I'd be trying to get everyone to cover up, at least protecting a little bit of them to not get too cold.
Right.
Because if you get too cold, you'll just die.
We're already pretty cold.
Yeah, and it's raining, and the water will make it
I would have
worse.
gotten out my farmer's hat.
Okay.
Like my wide brimmed
Yeah.
farmer's hat.
I'm
Beautiful.
taking a lead from you. I have my shield on my
Cool.
over my head.
And then I'll check the cart to make sure they either have their hoods up or if they have cloaks. I think mine burned up when that stupid dragon decimated me.
I gave you a scarf.
Oh, that's right. I still have my shield over. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so everybody will pull hoods or cloaks up or find some way to kind of keep the rain shield off. Esmeralda will like pop up her hood and kind of slouch over. She continues to try to tinker and get herself prepared.
Then I'd like to look straight up at the sky because he said dragon.
The sky seems a twinge darker than it has been, even at this time of day, because I think this is probably like very early to mid cloud.
Cloud it was,
Yeah, we're early to mid cloud,
Early mid cloud. Got it.
and it is a little darker than normal for early to mid cloud. And the raindrops fall to where, you know, they'll if you like stick your face out, it'll sting slightly. Like it's an aggressive hard pour.
Yeah. But I don't see any
Nothing in the air
weird shapes.
currently. No,
Even with the lightning cracking through, that's not
Nope.
illuminating it.
no, it does illuminate, but you don't really see anything that might be hovering around or
I'd like to dedicate a lot of my efforts to, like, routinely checking the sky, checking around us, like, even, like, slowing my pace to walk on the backside of the wagon, checking the other side, and doing kind of that motion,
Sure.
just kind of more as a sentry.
So after a few more minutes of travel, the rain continues at very steady pace, and it really doesn't feel like it's going to let up, and it's that heavy. So the rules for your sound and your vision for like attacking in combat, keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure it's like disadvantage on ranged with the rain, and disadvantage on perception because of the lack of vision mixed with the rain, the fog. And the terrain is getting a little sloppy. It's still not going to affect you just yet, but
Yeah.
it may come down to where you're more of in a difficult terrain situation.
I want to holler up at Rhodes and Esmeralda and be like, we probably need to get out of the wagon. We just need a driver. This was-
As you do that, there's going to be a moment where you see Esmeralda, and then nothing.
Thank you.
It just vanishes, and then the wagon is probably going to start creeping into what you can see now is...
Vanishes?
Yeah.
Just glide over that field over. I assume I'm not actually paying attention to the terrain.
I mean, technically, you would see a silhouette because the rains would hit it and create like a silhouette, but she has used invisibility of some sort.
You can't just, like, you still weigh things when you're invisible, ma'am. If you don't mind just a cart of weight, I would greatly appreciate it.
As the woods begin to part, it will reveal an expansive clearing that you guys have now entered. It's a small grass-covered hill. Very low houses that are built into the hillside. The fog is not... It's here and present, but it's more of that Irina bubble that you had. It's drifty and it creates ambience, but it's not like what you just came through.
So
As a matter of fact,
the other Vistani camp.
Yeah, for cool effect, essentially it's going to be like the fog will roll and then like open up like curtains.
Oh, cool.
And then when you kind of go through and look back, it will fall back into place to create that kind of thicker boundary, if you will.
What about the rain?
It is still raining.
Okay.
It is uncomfortably raining. Let's see. So you can see that these buildings feature elegantly carved woodworkings and have decorative lanterns that hang from their sculpted eaves. And atop the hill, above kind of that ambient fog that's like laying around here, there's a ring of barrel-top wagons that surround a large tent with columns of smoke that is pouring out of the tent's hole that's in the top of the tent.
So there are structures. There's a hill, and there's
Correct.
structures at the base of the
Built
hill,
into the hill.
and then
Seemingly.
the round top or the barrel.
Yep. And there's Yep.
base.
correct. And then you will see that there is a pathway leading up to the top of the hill, which you guys are currently on, and it will be coming in the southern direction. Let's see if there's any other things. So the tent is brightly lit from the inside, and even in the distance, you can smell the odors of wine. You can smell horses and hear the horses that are emanating from the central area of the tent. So if you look up on the hill, you might be able to see that they have gathered their horses kind of up around this tent area, and then the wagons kind of create a perimeter to protect the horses, and the tent is in the center.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, friend. The Vistani are nomadic people, aren't they?
I did notice that in their permanent buildings, or are they?
The ones, yes, at the kind of at the base of the hill that are built within the hill, are permanent buildings. They're permanent structures.
Maybe the village was abandoned and they just are residing here.
What does the architecture look like of these buildings?
You can make a history check if you like.
Oh, my gosh. Help you.
Oh, 19.
Never mind, you
16
didn't need
plus
help.
3.
They look elven in nature.
We've seen no elves. Like people of Barovia.
Have been mostly human, yes. You may have seen some half elves,
Yeah.
but these structures look a little. How do I want to put this? They look elvish in their sculpting and designs, but not like the elvish you would be familiar with. They don't look like they're high elf, and they don't look like with the wood
And
elves.
not like Fae.
They have a slight fey to them, but they're definitely elvish more in nature.
Well,
Would you guys like a map to see exactly?
yeah. Actually, we want map.
Map.
While you're pulling up the map, Rhodes, you notice anything up there? Any people moving around?
Oh, sorry, I was just talking to Ephraim. No, don't. There are a lot of horses up on the hill. I think we should stop the wagon here, is what he'll say.
Agree.
Okay, so
Do
there
you want to
is your
stay
map.
with the wagon, Avram Rhodes?
I think that would be wise in case we need to make a hasty retreat, is what Rhodes would say.
Right.
And Ephraim will kind of pat him on the back like that was a good choice. Good choice.
Hate that stupid horse though.
How dare you? That's my bestie.
So
it was a vampire before
you're-
he ever did.
let me turn off the visions so you guys can actually see the map here with our dynamic lighting of the 20s of rolls. I'm going to actually
Scry
keep that
machine.
on. Daylight mode is on. I'll tell you what, let me give a token so I don't screw and reveal anything.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, one appreciates that.
You're just gonna act like they were.
We're gonna bring Ez with us into the camp.
I was actually gonna
She's-
stop by the wagon and be like, "Are you coming with us or staying here?" Kind of like,
She's invisible now.
yeah.
Currently.
We can see her outline though.
Yeah.
Pretty
But
easily.
she is Vistani. It's odd that she's a Vistani by herself, not with a Vistani.
Yeah, didn't she kind of allude to they don't necessarily get along?
Maybe that's why she went invisible.
And she's the only other person we've seen be able to use tarot cards or whatever the fuck they're called.
Here's my other thought. It's like, we were better off with a werewolf instead of a werewolf hunter.
Oh, were we? Did we have a werewolf?
Do we have a werewolf? Guys, did we have a werewolf?
Are you
No!
Did
No,
you?
I didn't get bit.
Girl, did you?
Are you gonna wear a raven?
No, what's her name? Irina.
She's not a werewolf.
She's a werewolf.
She's a werewolf. Are you? Feel over? Are you?
Count those freckles.
1, 2, 3.
I can remember how many. 12.
Do you have motherfucker?
Alright, so the Vistani camp is here. You can zoom in and out to adjust if you need to.
Just kidding, you guys. Stay tuned.
Can I catch
Stay tuned.
freckles really
You
quick?
can, they're all there.
All 12?
All of them.
My marbles, not so much.
I didn't.
To
think
be fair, our world has been rocked over the last 48 hours.
I must have dreamed that while I was fucking dead.
Did we dream?
You were
You?
dead.
Wait, you got dreams?
Dreams. Okay. So there's your map. You can zoom in and out or close. That way you can get an overall
let's take a
picture.
look at this.
Use the little whatever's. You are coming in from where the Crit Eating Grin token is.
Are there fences, or is this indicating topography change?
Correct. It's elevation of the hill. And it should be 20 feet, 30 feet, tells you exactly 10, 20, and 30 all the way up. So these are the buildings. These are the buildings that we would refer to that you see. I would say at this point you will see a cloaked individual standing in a guarding position in front of one of the buildings that you're coming into, and it would be
Vistani garb.
It is a dark kind of I don't know, like a sage green.
So not
cloak.
bright red
No,
colors.
no,
that
no,
we
no,
would
no.
typically see.
So it'll be this right here. I'll ping it on the map. I
Well,
hope
and
it's
they were
showing.
also wearing crazy bright colors. Are the Vardos up top decorated in Vistani
Nope.
style?
The top of the hill is very colorful. The barrel top wagons look
So we
very
can see
similar.
like the only color we ever see in Barovia, essentially.
Yes, correct.
I don't remember. Honestly, it's felt like months ago, but I think we've only been here 5 days. When we were at the first Vistani camp, there were no guards.
That is correct.
That's outside of the people
Thank
just
you,
looking.
God.
Outside of the people just looking intimidating in general,
Correct.
there were no people like guarding.
They felt more nomadic
Structures.
too.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was no permanent.
It's odd that there are structures.
Okay, who's gonna? We should have one voice in there.
Definitely not it. My
I was
wrist
the
is
boss
so
last
low,
time
my
and it
dude.
sucked.
All right, hold on one
Do you
second.
want me? I can talk, but
Ben, no bullshit. Only if you have to.
I mean, all bullshit. We don't care if they know our secrets.
Okay, no, we don't want them to know our secrets.
Right, exactly.
There will be, as you guys finish this little conversation, there is the sound of agonizing screaming of a male voice coming from the top of the hill. It's obviously, 100 or so feet away or close to it, but it's emanating from the center of the tent.
Okay, I'm gonna go. It's fucking terrifying. Right. Give me a moment, and I'll pitter on over to my little trunk,
Imagine the little wet slaps of feet in the mud.
and I'll throw myself on a thing. While I'm up there, I'll whisper to Ez.
Ez is not there. You no longer see the silhouetted.
Oh shit!
Mhm.
Should have connected with her before. Fuck.
You hear from behind you. What is it?
Do you want to stay with? Do you want to stay with the count, or are you coming with us into the Vistani camp?
I will stay here to be your backup in case you have to run.
Love to hear it. And I'll open up my thing, and as I do, I'll send 2 little buggies out to my compatriots. And I'm gonna link psychically. Using psychic whispers.
Delicious. Wait, I forgot it was bugs in the air.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Babblefish.
Yeah, noises.
Oh.
Whispers.
So the ambience of Barovia, is it that?
Oh, we're linked for 1 hour, guys.
Who did
Okay.
you? Sorry.
Both of you.
As
I
you
can
feel
hear
it,
each other.
as you feel it like land and
So 3
all tickly?
creatures. 3 creatures I can see. So I can't see Esmeralda,
Nope.
so I'm gonna do Rhodes. And my 2.
Rhodes is literally like, what the fuck? Oh.
I'm gonna throw just some shit. I'll take out one of like my heavier, like more drab coats to kind of like match whatever this guy's wearing, but then grab some of the Vistani clothes that I got at the previous camp and just give it like a little splash of color to kind of see how they respond to both. And I'll leap out, and you'll see he has pulled back his hair into like a really tight ponytail. And he's got like a little sailor's cap on top of the top of his head, hiding the
Got it.
whatever the fuck that is. Whatever that is.
Winona Ryder.
All right, friends, let's head on up.
What was the
And
reaction?
I'm gonna leap off and start to walk towards the guard at the little structure.
What was the reaction of that guard when the extreme blood-curdling screaming started? happening?
Zero movement.
So this
As
is
if
just-
you see the head is down, the rain drips off like the front of the hood. Very much like a royal guard in England, just unwavering, just there.
And I'll start to trek over, and you'll notice his where Ben is normally kind of like upright and doesn't really swagger. He's now kind of taken on a more of like kind of like a swashbuckling step. Like he's kind of taking like wider steps, and
You look drunk, or?
no. It's like
Okay.
he's made his presence a little bit bigger.
Oh, so,
Like
okay.
he's just kind of taking up more space. And I go, "Hello there, friend. My name is Ender Bukansa. we're trapped in the rain here. I'm wondering if we get a bit of help.
So you get within, let's say, 15, 20 feet. And we'll just call it 15 feet. And when you do, the hood raises, and you'll see kind of a darker skin. The features and structure is very similar to like a wood elf.
Okay.
But the skin is like a little bit lighter than a drow almost.
Ashy.
More of a blackish brown.
Okay.
And the hair is like very dark black. But the features are definitely elven.
Okay. What did you say your name was?
He will reply in a stern voice that's loud enough to hear, but not like Carrie. I did not. Why have you come here?
Oh, we were sent here. We told there was a Vistani camp up ahead, and we're wondering if we could get perhaps a bit of help from you. Are you elf, friend?
The Vistani are at the top of the hill, and that's all he says. He's not very forthcoming.
Is there anything about his... This is fucking weird. Is there anything about... Oh, the behind him, what he's standing in front of? Is it a door, a curtain? Is it an open
It
archway?
is a door. And there is a lantern that is struggling to stay lit. I believe it was hanging
On the inside, or...?
on the outside, and you could see the rain, like it's closed off, but the rain's still kind of working in and causing the light inside to flicker a little bit.
I like to very... On the inside.
No, on the outside. Sorry.
Okay, I like to very...
Probably hanging above the door.
Are there windows?
They are, but they are very dingy and dirty.
Okay. I'd like to very subtly pass prestidigitation and snuff the lantern. And I go, "Oh, friend, it looks like your lantern's out here. I could help you." And I'm gonna like reach in my pocket, pull out some like flint, and tackle him, and start to approach him and the door. I'm gonna make sure he stays right. With the intention, I'm trying to get as close to the window as possible because I want to see what the fuck is inside of this.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check. He doesn't appear...
At disadvantage.
Oh, absolutely.
I got a 9 and a 10. Which means I'm 13.
Very dark in these windows, and he's going to stop you. And you see that when he does, he's at his weapon. His weapon is very much like a rapier or a saber-esque kind of weapon.
Okay.
He says, "It's quite all right. If you're looking for the Vistani, they're up at the top of the hill. I'll take care of the camp. Thank you."
And I think in that moment, I'll probably instinctively go, watching him reach for his weapon, I'll instinctively reach for mine, and notice that the hilt has changed slightly. Like
Sure.
the grip doesn't feel quite what I'm used to, and I'll kind of like look down at it and take a step back for a second. All right, friend. Before we head up, do you need help with anything?
Top of the hill, that's all he says. You can see that he's being very polite and restrained, as the guard would be.
Okay.
He's not aggressive per se, but he's stern.
Here's the boundary. We're not
That's it.
crossing it.
That's it.
All right. Well, stay right, friend. And I'll start to, I'll kind of gesture you guys and go, "Let's head upstairs." So you guys can catch a peek at anything that's inside as we start to pass the...
I will tell you, because you were close enough, that it's more of a hovel than a nice home.
Okay.
It's well built,
Yeah.
but it's definitely seen a lot of wear and tear. It's been here for quite some time.
Okay.
Maybe I know something about this place that we don't.
I think so. Boys, let's head upstairs. Head upstairs.
Head up.
Up the hill.
You good to talk for us, or?
Quite good to talk, I think. And we'll start to make our way up.
It's a hovel. It's sort of home.
All right. So approaching.
Do you want me to move us?
You can. It'd be nice.
Yeah. I think we can. What?
Okay, so the structures are just at the base of the hill. They're not like tiered up the hill.
Correct.
Okay.
They're at that kind of 10-foot.
So there's like a very clear distinction between...
Correct. All right. I think we are here. So you climbing up to the top of this hill, you are going to begin to see that outside the wagons there are several casks of wine. And then you can begin to see that from inside the tent, you will hear the crack of a whip, followed by the howls of a young man, which you caught earlier. There's a sputtering campfire inside the tent that's creating the smoke that was billowing out. And then through kind of the haze, you can see that there are 6 Vistani that are passed out in various places on the grass that have kind of like found some sort of like cover or whatever to sleep it,
Like
to protect from
they're like
right, right,
like created like pseudo tents.
correct.
Okay.
They're barely conscious. You will be able to see that there's the barely conscious shirtless teenager.
So we can see. So it's like an open.
It
air
is,
tent. It's
correct.
like a carnival tent.
Correct.
Okay.
That is basically bound by rope to the tent's center pole. Or to a pole of the tent. He's got rope binding his wrists. There are streaks of blood that are kind of coming from his back. You can see that he's been hit multiple times. There's an older, larger man that is wearing studded leather armor that is lashing the young man with a horse whip that is causing him to scream again. And then standing in the bigger man's shadow is a third man who is also clad in studded leather. And you hear him say, "Easy, brother, easy." He says to the whipping brute, "I think Alexei has learned his lessons," what you'll hear. At this point, you guys are, I'm going to say, right about in between the 20 to 30 foot mark. Like, you're going to, like, your heads and eyes are going to be able to peer into it, but you haven't made a full presence yet.
And we heard that sentence.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time knowing where we're actually at, though.
No.
I'm really sorry. If you ping it, I can put us there.
No, it's okay. So you guys would be, like, literally, like, here. I know it's kind of like, yeah.
I'll, like, whisper to, or not whisper, I'll, in our psychic connection, I'll go, "Feeling, there was much happier people. They weren't nearly as aggressive."
Maybe this one did something. In the psychic connection.
Oh, Alexei. That's the only name we know.
And that was the young teenage boy that was being
did
whipped
something
and is tied.
unforgivable. We don't know.
And I'll, as loudly as I can, "Hello! Hello there, friends!"
The large man is going to start coiling up the whip, and as that happens, it immediately uncoils as he turns and looks back towards that direction. The smaller man, or the brother, is going to start coming. As you can see, he has kind of a big round, like a growler, if you will, that he seems to be drinking wine or something like that, who steps towards kind of one of the entrance points looking in your direction.
"You staying dry on a day like today?"
Did you put a disguise on, correct?
Yeah, well, disguise-ish. Like, I've tied my hair up, the sailor's cap is on, I'm not wearing the normal flashy bed clothes, but I'm wearing, and I would have put, like, disguise kit stuff on, and I'm
Go
wearing,
ahead
like,
and give me a, what do I want for that?
Deception.
That's there. Thank you. That's what I wanted to do.
At advantage or disadvantage? Or?
That would be an advantage for you, but the other two, you just kind of cloaked up and stuff, correct?
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a deception regularly.
It's 26.
It's
That'd
pretty
be
good.
great.
Yeah, I'm so good at deception.
I'm an honest clergy person.
Maybe I did.
What you got there?
I'm not tricking anybody. I got a 1.
Okay.
I
got
literally have my
a
name.
So far,
number across my chest.
so far, bit you have what?
20.
Beautiful.
But
So,
it's 22.
so you two are kind of sitting back a little bit. You are kind of the face, correct? So you step up to the top, and he says, "Oh, hello there, friend. Are you lost by chance?"
We were sent your way. I think you might have a bit of help for us, I think. We were sent down from Wallachia itself, actually. My name is Ander Bunatsa, a mere sailor here, trapped in Barovia. Not sure how that happened.
Roll me a d4, please.
A D4.
I really wish you would have told us your backstory before we did this.
There are 4. There are 3 quick flashes of lightning after you finish that sentence, and 1 that streaks almost like above you, and a roll of thunder. You can make a perception check, please.
Advantage, disadvantage.
No, just a regular, just a straight up perception.
8.
Okay. I will say that his kind of countenance changes as he kind of like fixates a little bit more on you. And you see that he kind of strides outside and he kind of takes his bottle.
Bigger guy, little guy.
The little guy seems to be kind of in control of the area currently.
Okay.
So he sets the bottle down And he kind of
Steps
does
out.
this. Yep, about 2 or 3 steps out into the rain, puts his hand on his blade to his side. The bigger guy is going to come towards the entrance, and he's got the whip, and he just gently kind of like take his wrist to kind of keep it dancing, the horse whip.
Yeah. What did you say your name was?
My name is in this book. And it
He
just,
pulls out a book. My name is...
my name is Argyle.
Argo?
Argyle.
Gale.
Argyle.
And this is my brother Luvish, or Lovish, sorry.
Lavish and Argyle. Like I said, I'm Ender.
Are you really? Is what he says as he takes another step closer.
Aye.
Continue on. The brother will then, the larger one, starts to walk to be like a presence over one of the
I
shoulders.
also like to do that as well.
Yeah, we'd probably
to be a
flank him.
presence over.
So you guys will climb up, and each one of you will pick a side to be
Yeah.
on.
I'm trying to look real imposing as I'm just like, yeah, I'm scary.
Full RBF. It's raining. I'm pissed off. I don't think I have to do anything naturally for this to happen, but yeah, just
Sure.
Probably literally shivering because we're already cold and it's raining and it's very cold outside.
shield will come down, obviously. So I can...
Well, friend, I don't know what brought you down here per se. You said something about Valaki, but I feel as if you're feeding me a line of rhetoric. Do you want to retry what you're really here for?
I would like to get an insight check on this gentleman.
That's
Sure.
fine.
a
Get a
vibe check.
sense for
Sure.
Okay, that's better than last time. 25.
12.
Got a 10.
25 is going to be a definitely pick up that there was some sort of change in countenance between the 3 flashes, the streak of lightning, and the thunder.
Like
That
you
he-
received a message or
You
something?
got it. You got it.
I'm gonna be like in my head like, that might be something thing like Morse code or something. I don't know.
You had a 12, correct?
Yeah.
You know that he's on to you somehow, some way. You're not sure how. That you got to play this very cautiously.
Obviously, in the mental connection. Charles somehow feeding him information.
I don't know.
through
I'm not.
lightning strikes.
I don't know, but I definitely
You
think.
don't get the sense that he knows who we are. I just get the sense that he knows something's up.
Yeah, Indar. Thanks for that.
It's Ender.
Indar. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, having a mental argument right now. We're just like.
We're all kind of like staring at each other.
The big older brother, you would assume, or the older
Luvash? What was it?
Lovish,
Lavish.
or Luvash, I guess. Luvash. Luvash. You got that. Luvash.
It's so close.
Argyle? Luvash? Let's forget names for a moment. It is pouring fucking rain outside. Do you think we could find somewhere to get a bit drier and perhaps have an easy conversation?
Ah, tent is welcome. Come right in, is what he'll say.
I'm gonna look inside the tent and see who the fuck else is in there.
There's a couple
Who's
sleeping. There's a couple sleeping Vistani that are trying to stay warm around the fire. Obviously, the one young teenage boy is still kind of bound.
Right, so I think that'll be nice and lovely.
Yeah.
So is he right
Let's
on
go
up to
ahead.
the prisoner? By the fire.
And as I'll walk kind of, not, like, very confidently. Like, I'm not flinching, I'm not showing fear, I'm not showing anything. I'm just gonna walk up next to them and go, well, go ahead and lead the way, friends.
He will. Being Argyle, he will step in.
Okay.
Luvash will not. He just stands there and he just constantly ADHDs the whip. Just
Yeah, it's like fidget
constantly.
spinner.
You got it.
You look quite times over that, friend.
Just kind of growls a little bit.
So, Argyle, we were just looking for a bit, as you can tell, we're travelling through the lands, and we're looking for a bit of help, I think, somewhere in this land. 'Cause
Really?
it's fucking rain outside.
It sure is what he'll say. He sits on like a staggered bunch of like crates and just kind of like half-ass sits on one leg to the ground, the other leg is just kind of dangling, you know what I mean, his posture.
You said the fire was sputtering, correct?
Not inside the tent.
Okay.
That was the candlelight above the doorway of the building.
Inside the tent.
It's like a pretty good sized campfire that's built near the center.
You seem to be a little bit like at the edge of the tent, and I have my big braid, and I'm just like wringing it out to try and get rid of some
Alright.
water. And I yell at Ben like,
So what is the order? Who followed?
Did you call?
Literally did.
Yep.
So
Thank you for your natural one.
yeah.
"You're welcome."
So as you guys have made yourself in there, that happens. That's when Lubash is gonna like step to intercede.
I wanted to keep my eyes on Lubash.
He's definitely behind you, looking down. He's a large man.
Yeah, cool. I'll just make sure I'm between Fialova and him.
Sorry, I'll look
You,
back at Arg.
that's plausible because I feel like she would have came in right after.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look
Thank you.
back at Aragale and go, sorry, she keeps calling me by my middle name. That's not quite right. It's Una, but, speech impediment and all. So,
You seem like a nice fellow.
you too.
It's really a shame that I have to turn you over to our master, is what he says.
I'm sorry, your master.
Oh, yes.
Who's your master?
The one who's creating the rain and the lightning and the thunder.
You know
Yes.
God.
I do, is what he'll say. He'll stand up now, hand on weapon.
Could I actually ask for a parlay?
Give me a persuasion. Oh boy.
Does it look like I could take this guy behind me?
It would be a suitable match.
Okay.
15.
He grits his teeth a little bit. I'll entertain it, is what he'll say as he stands straight, and he'll pull his weapon slowly. He's got a short sword, so he just like takes the tip of the sword and just kind of like plays with it in the left hand, right hand behind the arm. You know what I mean? Like he's
Sure.
an intimidating presence, if you will.
If he's gonna do that, I'm gonna pull out the rapier and just kind of place it on the ground. And I think, with the not pact, the whatever it's called, the first level of warlock, the rapier has changed. It's not that normal kind of giant foil. It's missing the handguard and it's more needle-like.
Okay.
And it's the first time Ben has seen this, and he's not going to show a flash of recognition. He's just going to kind of place it next to him. Just as a very gentle, like, you're playing with a weapon, I'm going to play with a weapon.
Sure.
Before you go too far, in your heads, both of us.
Thank you for in the head.
Yeah, in the head, you'll receive an emboldening bond, which essentially gives you bless for
Amazing.
10 minutes, as long as you're within 30 feet of me. And that goes for all three of us, so we're all three set for that.
Amazing. That's D4.
Yep.
And I'm going to go. Argo.
Ben, is what he'll say.
It's really more of a Una, but so it is.
I'm still oblivious. Like I have no idea.
Bond in the psychic connection would be like, just call him N for right now. Ian, just call him in.
Oh, I thought his name was Bender.
No, Ender.
Fucking focus!
There will be a snap of the horse whip from behind as he just kind of like, and when he does, there's like 4 or 5 Istani that are kind of stirring a little bit.
Okay. Argo. Can I ask you a very simple question?
This is your parlay, is what he'll say.
Lovely. Are you happy with the arrangement you have with your master?
Absolutely happy. He's the reason I'm in charge, is what he'll say.
Of just this camp or all of this stuff?
He will not confirm or deny. either
In
way.
the psychic link, that means just this camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He has balls on his truck, is all I'm saying.
That's the look I'm giving his brother right
Do
now.
you
Like, oh, you
games,
think you're hot shit? Like,
Argale?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you like games?
I don't prefer games, is what he'll say. My brother, on the other hand, enjoys a good competition.
Oh, lovely. What if we wagered something? I'm a bit of a gambler myself.
Now, wagering I can do, is what he'll say.
All right. There we go.
I love being dishonest. I'm so good at it.
Here's the wager. You hear us out. You offer us a bit of help in the land. With achieving a few things we're looking to achieve. If we win. If we lose, you can turn us in.
I guess that's one way to
There will
find
be
out
a
right now.
crack of thunder and a flash of lightning.
I say in our head, like, he's here, you guys. Dot's gonna show up any second.
Dot.
He will go back to kind of the staggered crates. He will lean against them in the same posture he was before. I'm listening, is what he says.
I find that most of these competitions are best 2 out of 3. So, let's say you pick 2 of our compatriots, we get to pick 2 of your compatriots, and we get to go one-on-one.
Is this like a trivia challenge?
We'll say it's
Jeopardy? Math problem?
Like, what are you proposing here?
One beat of sweat.
game of the a game
Niley's
of
an
wit.
idiot.
How about a game of wit and a game of strength?
Says Bride. Inconceivable.
Okay. What do you have in mind for the game of wit? The game of strength is pretty obvious.
While he's thinking, I just want to keep... I have this idea. Like, I'm trying to channel the connection that is being made. Because I know that there's a connection. Something's happening with the lightning. So I'm trying to, like, since I'm part of the crew now, I'm dead. I'm trying to, like, get my wavelength brains in line to see if I can check, perceive some communication or something like that between. Because if he's watching us...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that... I don't know what that would be.
So the other one was
Arcana.
3 flashes of lightning.
There was 3 flashes, 1 crack, like long
And this one was 1 lightning, 1 thunder.
Yeah.
How about a riddle off? Let's say you can win a test vibes.
Cool.
Okay, I like where that's going. I'm going to say, as you guys are having this conversation, coming from probably like the eastern side of the tank, maybe out of one of the wagons, you're going to see a small child run directly up to him. It's like, "Father, father!" And he stops her immediately. And he's not very happy, obviously, because of the entire situation going on. But you 3 that are up here will notice that this was one of the children that you guys helped in the old bone grinder.
Hey.
Do we know a name of this child?
You don't, because no name was given. I reviewed the film.
Yeah.
But it will be one, and immediately she says, "I know these people," is what she says. "They helped me."
To forget.
And I will then slip into Ben's voice. Oh my god, we've been looking for you. We lost you. How did you get here?
"I walked," is what she says.
It's a long walk for such little legs.
The nun who helped me out of the
We
church.
got them out of the church. That's right.
Yeah.
It seems I owe you a favor for the life of my daughter. So here's what I'm going to do. There is no need for competition. You'll have 24 hours before I hunt you down and turn you over to Strahd himself. That's what he
Only
says.
24 hours.
I feel it's adequate. You may stay and be unharmed inside the camp, but after the 24-hour mark,
So let me get this straight. You will treat us as friends inside your camp.
you will be treated as allies within the 24 hours I've given you, is what he says.
And I'm going to walk directly over to him, and I'm going to...
Ask him to turn off the rain.
I'm going to... So you will call yourself ally. An ally.
The parlay will be intact for 24 hours. Okay, I'm gonna roll, see if he's smart enough. I doubt it. He's very hesitant, but he will take your hand.
Great, and we are now bound by this project.
Interesting enough, here's what's going to happen. You feel this tickle around your wrist, like a mosquito bite, kind of that nagging itch, and then there's this tiny little thread that weaves into the bracelet.
That's a different color than...
It's red. It's a new thread that's bound, essentially kind of symbolizing you've made some sort of deal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, after you finish the kind of shaking of the hand, there is a very roll me d4.
Oh.
Very D4.
It's a very
Yikes.
D4.
4.
You'll take 4 points of psychic damage
Fuck me.
as one of these threads, very similar to the 3, snaps and deals the damage to you and fades away into like dust or ash.
Is that like, do we
Noticeable?
feel anything about that?
He's the only one that really notices it. You might notice him go "Ugh," or react. I
Yeah.
would assume.
Like, sorry, the bugs in this fucking town is like we're trapped in a swamp.
Okay, and then Argel does not notice the reaction, so he's basically like, deal has been struck. You have 24 hours.
Great. Since you're a friend, do you mind answering a few questions?
He will. He will openly answer questions within that time because you are allied.
Lovely. Who are the people at bottom of the hill?
Those are the Dusk Elves, is what he says.
Nothing of interest to them.
We're their babysitter.
the babysitters. They do something bad.
They offended the Lord himself, and he is basically waiting them out.
Interesting. Now, do they have a leader?
He is at the bottom of the hill. You would have to speak with them to find him.
How should we gain access to him? Surely if they obey...
Just asking. They should direct you if you wish to speak to someone.
That's interesting. Since we're here, and you are a friend, would you be willing to lend us some horses? You know, to make the game and pursuit more interesting.
Deadliest catch.
I can loan 3 horses.
So we're short. Hold on, we've got 3 horses. We've got
4 horses.
What is the official
For-
carrying weight of a horse?
You could ride 2 people,
Okay.
essentially. It would probably slow or have some sort of statistic,
Just in
but you
case.
could like you see in the movies. I mean,
So
we're
we
playing a
have
game here.
To send Avram back to town. Because we've got Rhodes, Avram, Ez. Rhodes and Ez have to come with us.
Rhodes.
Avram can ride with. I can
Ez.
ride with
There's
Avram.
6. There's 3 horses.
And there's 4 horses.
There's
We've
4
got the
horses.
draft horse, but that's a draft horse. It's not
Yeah.
really a
They're
riding horse.
Right.
But there's 6 of us.
And we're gonna bring the cart.
I think if this guy's gonna start fucking pursuing us, we don't bring the cart. We
All of this is
basically
in our
say,
heads.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
We're not gonna say Ben out loud.
We already
How
did.
about-
What's the problem?
How about 5? Friend.
Go ahead and give me a. Let's make a persuasion. Do competitive.
Yes.
Sure.
Remember you.
Oh wait, I've got bless.
Bless.
Oh, and if I fail this, I'm gonna
Cycle,
activate.
certain act.
Yeah. 10 plus persuasion is 16. I'm
Does
going to
guidance
roll
and bless
cycle snack, and you just have to let me know if I succeed or fail. Which I think is a D8 now.
What do you have total?
It is.
Did you-
Currently, I've got 16, and with the 8, it's 21.
Yeah, you definitely will persuade him to where he says, I want to keep it as fair as possible, because I do like to feel as if I've given my opponent all the options. I will give you 5 horses, that's what he says.
Amazing. And then, I'm assuming
Luvash.
that comes with rations.
Wow.
He shakes his head like, nice try.
Bruh.
So Luvash you will hear him grind his teeth as he is not happy. He angrily like grabs the whip and he starts kind of like looping it. He ties it to his side and he goes out to collect 5 horses.
Staring at it the entire time.
If you don't mind, I would love to give your daughter a gift. And I'll produce a silk flower, and I go, you are a brave little girl. What was your name?
Abigail is what she says.
You are so brave.
My daddy named me.
Well,
Thank you for the flower.
You're a little wet. And I'll
Her
just,
name is Brave.
I'll dry her off with prestidigitation and just like pull her hair back into a cute little ponytail.
She has a kind of small doll clutched in her free hand, or her. We'll say she grabs the flower with the left. She has a small kind of doll in her right hand. Doll, yes, like a button eyes, kind of yarn for hair, kind of an old school, almost like Raggedy Ann style.
Well, thank you for standing up for us. That was also very
You helped me and saved my life, is what she says.
brave. Run off and play, and make sure your father doesn't chase us too hard.
I'll see what I can do. She runs off into the rain.
Hobble.
She's not gonna do the rain.
Well, she's got to go back to her car and get her shit. Miguel, what can you tell us of your master? What would he want with Ivy?
Well, currently he wants you. That's what he says. If we're going to be honest.
Me specifically.
Yeah, he's going to step up and he's going to walk to kind of another cask and he's going to start breaking out some cups. He will take once Luvash is back, he says, Luvash, please. He'll grab a large empty barrel, he turns it over, plonks it down to create a table, and they'll have some things with kind of like a makeshift table for everyone to sit who wishes to sit. At this time, the others, Vistani that are in the tent, are going to either stir and move to another wagon or leave because Argyle is going to basically give them like get the fuck out.
Ooh. What does Luvash do?
He is his brother's right hand.
So does
He is going to stand until his brother tells him to sit.
I'll stand by Ben's.
Envision the mountain, if you will. Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to kind of take a temperature for how I feel like how much he knows about us already. Like, you know what I mean? Did he know we were coming? I just wanna see
It's
if he
pretty
feels
easy.
familiar.
It's pretty easy to know that he was made aware by obviously Strahd that the group or the party could be coming your way. If you see them, I want them. And specifically, once you said the name Ben, that's what he needed. So you know specifically he wants him.
So, let me ask you this question. You consider yourself a hunter?
He pours you a glass. It is what was it, the red dragon crush wine.
Sure.
Pushes it over to you. He takes.
Just like a little swirl. I'm not going to taste it. I'm
All
just going to just casually
Sure.
swirl it in my hand.
Your question again. I'm sorry.
Do you consider yourself a hunter?
I consider myself Vistani, is what I'll say.
Intriguing. I know a few Vistani myself. Ava, I believe was her name. She is a lovely patron of ours. Sort of set us on this path.
Do I see him react to the name Ava?
Not the name Ava, no. Because you mispronounced the name.
Eva!
And it's also
Now he reacts a little bit.
Madam Eva!
There you go.
What
I
was
kind
the-
of pinch Ben like I'm his mom, and he
Yeah,
just
like,
said the wrong English name.
Sorry, Eva.
Madam.
What's
Eva.
the is a reaction like recognition or just fear or what?
Anger?
Appreciation, reverence.
It is going to be conflict.
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 Different dice.
Yeah, I'm about to throw this one in the trash.
It's conflict, where
Conflict.
you can see that there's a little competition, if you will. But there's a lot of respect. Does that make sense? It's where he knows she is what she is. He doesn't like.
Maybe some of her choices?
He wants to be the top dog, and she could really. Yeah, there you go. That's the vibe.
Right earlier.
That's the vibe.
And you know, she is back. And there's a bit of like playing the game herself. So let me ask you this question: what happens if Strahd finds us before you do? Do you get this? Do you get to keep your position here in this camp, or are you punished for failing?
Ooh.
I remember when
Okay, so I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
He's going to say essentially like, it's not necessarily his on him specifically. He was basically given the keep your eye out for him. If you find him, catch him. I want him.
And so you get some sort of.
I'm sure
He's already been given, and he looks around for loyalty to him. There will be there could be a reward for it, but it's not like if you fail me, I'm going to kill you kind of a.
That's the question I'm trying to pose to you. That if you were the one to catch us, and I don't know, make it difficult for Strahd to catch us, don't you think that you might pick up Ava's camp as well? Eva's camp?
Pinch him
I'm
again.
saying it the way that British people would say it.
It's in the accent. I got it. As far as he's having a difficult time to understand, be more specific or
Right.
clearer is what he says.
If you were to make it difficult for Strahd to know exactly where we are, but you knew exactly where we are, you could capture us to get some sort of boon. Don't you think that boon might be taking over Ava's camp? So, if that were me in that position, I would make sure that I would be the one to capture us, not the Dark Lord himself.
I see where you're going with this, is what he's going to say.
I did.
Mm-hmm. I'm jumping around.
He is going. He's going to ponder on it
Okay.
and think on it a little bit, as if, chewing it over, mulling it over to see. Because I feel like what you're trying to say, if I understand correctly, is it benefits you better.
For him to be the one that captures us.
Correct. And
So if
so
anybody
he
else-
could gain the benefit and the clarity to say, I did this for you, I want control, right?
In the psychic link, I'd like to ask Ben if his plan is to have them cause chaos by trying to find us,
Correct.
that it still covers us from Strahd, but he still gets to play his cat and mouse game.
Exactly.
I'm so freaking smart.
I'm going to kind of quietly. I'm interjecting on purpose. I'm quietly gonna like kind of take a knee and take out my something. I'm gonna take my shield and a rag, and I'm gonna start quietly cleaning it, and just I'm gonna tell an anecdote about. It's like a moment of lucidity from my past, almost emerges in my mind, and I'm like, yeah, back in the academy, I always got a lot of shit for letting the other people take up the win. You know, like the leaders are like, you're doing a sufficient job, but you're really not, you know, stepping up to the plate to really do what you need to do. And it was always severe, you know, like the bosses would be so mad at me because I let the other people, or they would win over me. And yeah, I never rose up in the ranks.
Is this the first time we've heard you talk about an academy?
I think so.
And I just then like lapse into like the middle distance of like memory. Like this is the first time a memory has even surfaced.
You're literally like my son who starts something and then just like pauses, like, and you're like, what?
Just like,
I love it. I love
And
it.
it's supposed to be something like I'm threatening you, like.
Well, to be fair, we also, whatever she's remembering, we would start getting flashes of.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's way more disgustingly dark in my mind.
yeah,
Like,
you're
I mean,
this
it's definitely not
flowery person, and Ben and I are in the trenches with you, like.
and I'm just like leaning on my shield and cleaning it, just like not blinking, just like looking insane, like.
So for general
Fuck.
purpose of the conversation, he's going to he takes note of what you have to say. Like I said, he's thinking it over. There will be no clear cut answer, yes or no, of what he plans to do.
Sure.
But you've definitely piqued his interest in thought process.
And he knows your friend's unhinged.
Yeah.
You know, Xylee has not taken her eyes off of his brother the entire time.
Yeah, what do you know of curses?
A bit.
How is it that you can leave this land? Nobody else can.
We have our ancestors to thank for them. That's what he says.
So-
He goes on to explain essentially kind of the story you already know.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. So then he will then proceed to say essentially there was a great kind of battle or whatever when Strahd was still not unalived.
Sure.
And he basically was found on death's door or dying, and they kind of like nursed him back to health essentially. Is kind of what they say. So for taking him and helping him and aiding him and bringing him back, he basically said, you know, he would owe them gratitude for as long as he lived.
That your ancestors have such a strong moral code,
When you
Live?
and that is amazing. That there is such an ethical approach to those in need approaching your camp. I just think, to honor your ancestors and those who brought you there.
Well, if you take a look around, we're the oldest here, is what he says, referring to him and his brother. The elders are no longer with us, is what he says confidently.
Except Madame Eva, technically.
She's not in this camp, is she?
No, but she's still around.
wow,
She's also a traveling, roving sort, if you will.
he started foaming on that sentence.
Started,
His anger.
If you ever find yourself seeking a higher and moral ground, I think we could help you.
Oh, this is 12, I know how to give
I will
someone
take
stew.
that into advisement, is what he says.
What's your beef with Madame Eva? I mutter from my shield. Like I'm using that like I
Yeah,
know
like
there's
he lays it out fairly straightforward. Basically says that he wants to be the one to run the Vistani. He is literally like, I'm the youth movement essentially. I know what's best for us. I think the old ways are crap.
Oh, so she's your boss, technically.
She has enough clout or power to basically put the hammer down on him or them.
An intriguing question for you, Argyle. Does anybody in your camp have a three-talent gods?
There was one.
What happened to them?
She betrayed us, is what he says.
That's unfortunate. Did you happen to
In
know
the
her
psychic
name?
link, it's S.
Oh.
S.
Her name was Esmeralda. She is Abigail's mother.
I try to hide my surprise.
So your partner.
At one point.
How do you feel about him now?
He just drinks on his mind to gain enough courage to say that if he was to see her, he would make sure that his daughter never saw her for what she had done to him. As a matter of fact, he has a few people roving the lands keeping an eye out for her.
Did I catch where Abigail ran off to?
Yeah, you would see which wagon she had ran to.
Yeah, that they're together right now. I don't say that, but in my head I'm like, yeah, they're chilling.
Maybe. She
What if
roves
we-
around. Go ahead, is what he says. He says she roves around in a wagon that is pretty unmistakable. That's what he says.
Have you seen that wagon last night?
I haven't seen him in quite some time. But like I said, I have people in places looking.
If she was Donnie, couldn't she leave?
She can.
Not be here anymore?
She can. She has the will.
Does she have any distinctive features?
Beautiful. And he gets very like sentimental as he gives a description. Like the skin tone, the hair, the very curly long hair.
And like, for every compliment he has, like, wow. Because I also have seen it.
Have you though? Because if I remember correctly,
You got drunk.
you
son.
got drunk and you didn't see nothing.
Yeah, but
I mean, she probably would have like flirted a little bit. You could give some intimate details.
So for
Okay.
everything he says, I was like, she might have used it sometimes, so there might be flecks of silver like starlight,
I got what you're saying.
dark sky.
So that he knows that you know or you've seen her.
Both that-
Hinting.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I am squirming because it's like, I know what they're talking about. You know what
I
mean?
know that feeling. I sit back here and have to do that every time I film, trying to keep my face straight.
So I'm just here
Go back
like,
to she has the will, which makes it seem like his ancestors did something to cause Strahd to be like but it makes me seem like maybe they just do something specific to leave.
I think that it's there might be we have no idea how they get back.
Yeah.
And they're not disclosing it. Like
No.
it's their power play
Yeah.
in this world.
Yeah. It's weird to write down that I'm seeing things.
See?
I'm making the mad guys.
Abigail, I've got a question for you. It's just bizarre.
Is he always full of questions as he looks to the
He
two
never
of you?
stops.
Literally.
Ever.
How do you get anywhere
We've
with
been
this?
checking muzzles recently. If you have any
I
suggestions.
have a few. We can. It's a tiny little sphere you put inside mouth, and there's leather straps.
evening prayers, to be honest.
Yeah, keep them quiet during the evening prayer so you can hear
We
yourself
tried
think.
church once. He punched the priest. It was a bad move.
I'm very strong.
It wasn't Father Donovich, was? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I saved that motherfucker for punching him in the face.
You have done. Yeah, you did. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, that's the story we want to bring home to children. Yeah, I punched
Just
someone.
wait till you can go back and watch the 2 episodes you guys aren't in. You'll see that there's benefits.
to punching people.
Maybe.
Just
You
start.
punched me and it all worked out well.
I'm trying to make the world a cause and effect kind of a living place.
You've traveled to Waterdeep recently, haven't you?
He has been there, and he will be able to relate to like if you like he can say Neverwinter and all the bigger cities, but he hasn't been there as of in quite some time.
I've heard of wonderful bounty hunters that happen to be there, or people that you can purchase to bring to the land small toys for your dark lord. Don't you think that also might make him happy? If you were to, I don't know, bring some more victims here.
Take the initiative.
I see. Okay, so how he's going to play, or what he says essentially, is he's going to be like, it seems as if the master has what he wants, but you stand between him achieving what he wants. Is what he's going to say. There is no more need for toys. Only Madame Eva wishes to bring him, or bring in new suitors to fill positions. Is what he says.
LOL.
You can insight check and like.
Yes. 19. Nope.
I'm not gonna.
Passive 17.
All right.
Plus your D4.
Yeah.
Yep. Blessed.
Might as well.
Hashtag blessed. Oh, that's good.
23.
You get the feeling that Madame Eva is looking for a replacement
For herself?
For Irene?
for Strahd. He's bringing or supplying new... She brings new talent or whatever that could supplant him, I guess is the proper term.
Take him out.
He,
Might get a better person in charge.
you got it. He enjoys the tit for tat. You bring in something, I'm going to squash him. He knows it's a game.
Game?
Did I not?
Game?
Like literally in the first few episodes, he was like, playing the game essentially. So I'm just saying, like, that's kind of what she does. She brings in the entertainment in hopes that someone could supplant him to be better or more devious than him.
Maybe that's
In
why
the
the...
psychic link bin, Niley would say, why don't we pose that to him? We're her suitors. If he steals us out from under her,
So that's what I was gonna...
nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
just to be clear, before we go on another tangent,
Yeah.
he's very loyal to Strahd. You've worked your angles up to this point. I'm giving you this much.
I know what I'm about to ask him.
Okay,
More questions?
Okay.
welcome to the questions episode here.
It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the only way to be top dog at the Vistani is to, well, hold that pact. What would happen if you were the Dark Lord?
I do not wish to be the Dark Lord, as you would say.
Well then, how about just the Lord of the Land?
Aspirations and goals is what he'll say, all in due time.
We have, say in the mind speak, like we do have a pretty unique position here. We could basically just pit them against each other even further, and then tell them both we're gonna help them rise to the top, and then they kill each other, and then we walk out like this. I do in my mind.
I
Oh,
don't think
okay.
he yearns for that power, though. He's happy being second.
No,
right
he
now.
just said ambitions and aspirations to be achieved.
Right.
Like, he was basically like, that would be fucking awesome, but I'm not quite there yet.
He's a long play.
Yeah.
I'm building. I'm not going to overstep. I'm making my allegiances. He's playing the Game of Thrones, essentially.
Middle manager forever, sir.
Alright,
That's what it
so-
sounds
Middle
I would
management
like
for the
to-
rest of your life.
I would like to, say if that opportunity in double speak, right?
Yep.
If that opportunity were to present itself, I can certainly assure you that,
So thieves can.
yeah,
Okay.
we're talking about something totally different.
Okay, so give me the over. Tell me what you're gonna...
If the opportunity were to present itself, you would have immediate allies.
And then the under with the thieves can't would be...
That would be the
Oh, that's the
intention.
under. So what's the over
The
sound
under
like?
intention is, I'm really curious as to what's happening at Wizards of Vines. It sounds like that there is some sort of infected vine that seems to be attacking the vineyard itself.
You'll hear a roving Vistani walk by the tent and be like, yep, that's why we have a delay in all of our wine. And he kind of looks, and that's what was picked up from
That was
that.
out of left field.
He picks up exactly what you're putting down on the under of the thieves' camp.
Okay.
Can we
Any
understand the
acknowledgement?
thieves?
Do you speak thieves' cant? If you do not speak thieves' cant, you
In
will do...
his head, so we know his intention.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
We get it.
Then you would pick it up.
I know why he mumbled. Okay.
We're in our heads like, he's not making poetry, he's using a different language. Thank God we didn't buy him that poetry book.
Maybe we should still do it.
So for time's sake, essentially, you will have the ability to take a long rest here if you wish. You can do what you want. Hospitality is parlayed.
Yeah.
They will not do anything. The closer time would get, if you decide to stay here, you're going to see that there's...
I don't think we still do. I think we get the fuck on the road.
Okay.
We should ask about the rain, though.
It
We're
does
just
not
gonna have
let
to-
up.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to fucking deal with that. And here's the benefit of the rain: the rain will cover our tracks.
It does.
So wherever the fuck we go, I go. All right, well, Argale, in full transparency, we are heading to the Abbey of St. Markovia. You will see us heading in that direction. I really, hopefully, a pass possible.
This is a true statement.
That's a deception.
It's a massive deception.
This is a true statement.
Oh,
I'm
man.
supporting this with my truth.
So it should make you roll disadvantage for that.
Don't look suspicious in
Not
any way.
suspicious! Not suspicious!
This is my not suspicious face.
I'm gonna activate side holster neck
Okay.
because I need this number to be as high as it fucking can be. 22.
Okay. 22 is. Let me write that down. Deception of 22, just so I have that back.
Smiley actually thought we were heading there.
It works because Violetta didn't remember where we're going, so she was like, yep.
Discovered after listening to myself, I need to take much better notes and make sure I stay more consistent. Okay. More consistent. I'm trying to be better.
So the intention of, he will see us heading back north because we're going back to the lake.
I understand.
Knowing that Markovia is west, like northwest of here.
Yeah.
But we are going to have, knowing full well that we have to loop south again to get to, because we had all those
You're
locations.
hoping he goes there.
Yeah, he's trying to throw him off.
Yeah.
He's just. Yeah, I got it.
It works because I really thought we were heading to St. Markovia's now.
You guys are. These cards have got you all mind screwed.
I'm writing
After,
it.
like I said, going back and
general.
reviewing, I'm like, I don't know. Like, everything that was presented in the card reading is very cryptic, and you guys, I love it because you guys are like,
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, we also.
Any response you have
Nope.
on that?
0.
Insight check.
You don't need to roll. Insight's good enough. Your passive insight's probably high.
17.
Is it higher than 12?
It's 14.
Okay. And you get that he's mentally making a note. He's like, okay.
So we should go to a third location, because he probably already knows which one the two options are.
I think we might hit the road rather soon. The hospitality has been lovely. Is it alright if we borrow a tent as well?
What do you have to barter for the tent?
Money.
I prefer barter, that's what you say.
What do you need? We could maybe swing by the wine place. Here you're having issues.
We could always use wine.
Just check it out, see what's going on.
But I need some sort of tangible now.
I say the good boy offering that is a bottle of wine. Or
Cask.
We never drink. We don't drink.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Give it to him. I don't care.
Celeste isn't here anymore, and
She ran away.
I have the best gift in the world.
Sure.
And I'll...
in the psychic link, didn't we steal that from what we assume is Strahd's wagon?
No, we found that in... No, we found that in the, that was a fancy decanter of wine that I gave to somebody else.
You gave it to, like, Madame Eva.
Yeah, I gave that, like, bottle of
No, I'm
wine
talking about
to...
when we were in the carriage. I don't think we had run into Madame
I
Eva
stole...
at
Yeah, we did. I stole a whole bunch of, like fancy glasses and
That was
like,
inside.
a decanter of alcohol.
Gotcha,
And that was
gotcha.
pre-camp, and then we swung by the camp, and I gave her that as a gift.
Right.
And I'm gonna pit her on back with the cask of wine and goes, Celeste is gonna be pissed. And I'm gonna hand. Just go ahead and try to pour that out.
Okay, so he tries, and it just continues to pour, and this excites a lot of, like, literally children to ice cream, kind of that vibe, or candy. Ooh, everybody are coming in. Ooh, they're like, ha ha ha, filling their mugs.
To be perfectly frank, tonight is going to be a...
I think they would begin a celebration. There's music and dance and things.
Really quickly before we just take off, I'm like, should we just stay here and get him really, 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 really drunk? We could help. Okay.
They're going to get late afternoon start.
Okay.
This is the first time
He will
they don't
give you a
have to-
tent. He will give you a tent large enough to house. It'll be like a big bell tent.
like a tent or something.
Yep,
Yeah,
that'll house your party.
Last two things. I've got one question I want to ask him privately.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. It's like straight up like that. Do you have a private question I have to ask him? It might help us with our situation, but I have to make sure that it's coached in the right way. The second
How
thing
dare
is,
you.
I think we should try to see what these elves can do.
Same. I can go talk to them.
I think you two should.
But I don't trust his brother one bit.
Ruvash is getting drunk.
Is he?
You look over?
Yeah.
He is not drinking.
Yeah. That's why I'm like,
He's the sober one.
Take care of both of them. Go talk to the elves. Ruvash, Argel, a moment over here, please. In private.
and we'll go talk.
Sure.
Oh,
You
we'll
guys will.
make our way down there.
Okay. Who wants to leave the room first?
I'm gonna leave there first because I have to use the little
I do also have to
Hexblood's
use-
room.
Wait.
The Hexblood's room.
Okay.
That's funny.
So the two of you will make your way down to the first building, I'm assuming, or is there a specific building you want to go to?
I want to go talk to that one guard. 'Cause
Same guard?
I feel like that's the one.
Okay. So you make your way down to the bottom of the hill to approach the same guard, which is on the way to the wagon, essentially.
I'm gonna test him when we walk up and use Elvish to see if they have the traditional Elvish.
He does speak Elvish. It's like an heavily accented one.
I also speak Elvish, so
Nice, winning.
maybe we can just keep this in Elvish,
You did
Yeah.
perfect.
and that might go over better. with him.
Yeah, I have some trust. I definitely have no riz whatsoever, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna just be an honest person.
Also Niley is a pretty honest person. So, also probably did a little bit of soldiering, maybe a little bit. So, I'll keep like a 6-foot healthy distance, enough to be heard over the rain without screaming, but also
Sure.
protecting that
Sure.
building. And I will say in Elvish this whole conversation if he keeps it in Elvish. Hello, I'm Niley. This is my compatriots, Violova. You unfortunately met our other friend in, but I had a few questions if you were willing and able.
He just looks. He's listening.
I hear you are under a watch from, and then I'll kind of just gesture.
He gives enough gesture to know that that's correct.
Can they speak Elvish?
You're asking him?
No, like towards the
The
Vistani.
Vistani.
Do the Vistani speak Elvish?
He's going to say that they do not.
I want to keep the conversation as frank as possible. I think we could help you, but I'd also like to know if you could help us.
He's listening.
What are your numbers like? How many people?
So intense. I'm sorry. I just looked.
How many people?
What are your numbers like?
How many people are here?
Currently, enough.
What are the parameters surrounding this imprisonment?
He does not reply.
Do you?
If you wish to speak to someone to answer your questions further, seek out
I got it.
Casimir. Kasimir. Casimir.
He's so familiar. Casimir. Do you know where we can find him?
He gives you points to the house that is directly on the east of the hill, so down in this direction.
This one. Oh, that one.
Okay, cool. Any?
Is he nice?
He doesn't reply.
Is he afraid? Like, do we need to be?
Me tracking Fialova. Wait,
Sure,
thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Fialova.
I mean, I could give him some money or something.
So you guys trek down towards the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you do, you will see. And get to.
Like we're like walking our horses around.
Yeah.
So, standing quietly in front of this particular house, bathed in the warm light of lanterns, or of its lantern, there are 3 sullen, gray-cloaked figures. Their angular features and black flowing hair half hidden under their cowls. 2 of them appear to be guards. 1 of them appears to be a little bit more than a guard. They look at you. The guards will fixate on you. One of them will say, "Can I help you?"
Niley will give kind of like a bow of like hello. And also in Elvish, we'll say we seek out to talk to Casimir. He's available.
You're speaking with. He will approach. He keeps a healthy distance.
Yeah.
So
COVID guidelines.
COVID guidelines. Can we? Not to be forward, but it's raining. Can we maybe step inside? We just have a few questions. We mean no harm. I'm a cleric.
Maybe of the private kind.
Okay.
Here in
He
peace.
makes a few looksies overs and gestures to come in.
I will leave my sword outside as kind of like a better faith thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Check
have
it
a
with the
weapon.
guards. They'll hold it.
I think I lost my weapon a long time ago, and I'm just like, this is a shield.
Yeah, we've been
You
trying to-
enter into this hovel. It's decorated, has a decorated vestibule. It's very comfortable. You can see that there are some tapestries of forest that hangs on the walls. He is going to take his cloak off. You can see that he is dressed in elvish clothing, but lots of muted colors, like maybe some dark tans, some blacks, some grays. They are very wood elf-ish, but there's a little kind of dusky appearance to them, since they would be considered dusk elves. I believe you guys were made aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
His skin is a beautiful, beautiful kind of black. His hair is damp from the weather, kind of like, but frizzed out because of the weather.
Yeah.
And
Same.
he takes his hand and kind of gathers it and just kind of twists it and binds it up to what holes in.
Stick
I
a
would have
chopstick in
out
it.
my giant.
Sure.
blade.
Yep.
Your complexion is absolutely stunning, especially here in the lamplight. Just thought I'd put that out there. Wink.
He's waiting to see what you guys wish to talk about.
Just have to be nice. I don't know how to be nice.
Yes, I'm again sorry to bother you. I feel like you have a sort of issue maybe going on right now with your current
landlords.
Yes, it's a very nice word for what I'm sure they are.
He's listening.
I feel like maybe we could help you out if you could help us out. You see, we, to speak a little more in code, don't really like the current government here. We find it a bit unfair.
Body.
Yeah, governing body. We find it a bit unfair. A little bit of a bully.
There's a flash of lightning through the windows and a rumble of thunder after you say
That
that.
means yes.
I want to incite that. I want to see if I read any reaction from them, like knowing reaction to what the.
Oh, he has zero reaction. If you're looking at his reaction, it's
there's no recognition
steely.
or anything like
No,
that.
he's got the typical like honed in elven kind of stare.
Yeah,
To him, it's just lightning that is random. Gotcha.
And do we still have the psychic connection with
It was
us?
for an hour, so
Okay.
I'm assuming it's getting fairly close.
We haven't bonded more.
Okay, yeah, I would like to in the psychic connection be like, I think that means yes.
Sure.
Just because he said yes to the parlay after one flash and one thunder, so like, I think calling him a bully is fine.
He knows what he is.
We're always being listened to, unfortunately. So to be more frank, I don't like the fact that you're being, as they called it, babysat. I find that rude. And also, again, don't really enjoy the governing body at the moment. So, we were told after 24 hours, they will hunt us down. I'd like to see if you could do anything to kind of delay them for that. Maybe help us.
So you wish for me and my people, the remaining people that I have, to run interference on the Vistani from hunting you down?
And we would do what we could to free you. If you tell us the specific parameters regarding this, maybe we could help.
Strahd is the reason for all of this. Strahd has almost made my people non-existent.
An enemy of my enemy is my friend, I do believe.
How do you propose to take him down?
We're really pissed off at him right now, so
Many people have done that.
we got, and I didn't believe in the fortune when she did it, and I still don't, but Niley will kind of grin. There's a fortune, supposedly, if we collect enough things, we have a chance of winning. We've collected some of those things. We've collected 2 out of 4 or 5. We're on our way to get the rest. It's very hard to find things, though, when we're being hunted. But I promise you, with all the power in our bodies, we will take Strahd down.
What you seek is at the Amber Temple, if you wish to free me of this dealings.
Amber Temple? Just takes out a notepad. Amber Temple, what we seek to free you?
Here, look. Let me get you an inkwell. Quill and inkwell.
Miley, right? Yeah. Okay.
What about how did this end up this way? Like, what happened? Brief, like,
Okay,
elevator
so
speech.
he goes into kind of a montage story. Essentially, his people were here. They were very threatening in Strahd's mind. So basically, what he did was he had all women and children slain. So there's no way to procreate to keep the bloodline going. Essentially, that's the best way to put it.
And elves, like, would I guess Niley know that elves are very much about, like, legitimate bloodlines and, like...
That would be correct.
Okay.
And you haven't really seen too many other elves here.
Yeah.
These would be the elves of Barovia, the lands, essentially. Not that there haven't been some that have traveled to or from or been brought here, but yes, there are no more pure blood, I guess, dusk elves that they could continue on. So essentially, he's just kind of waiting them out. And he's got the Vistani kind of keeping them in check so they can't try anything funny.
Did we know we had to go to the Amber Temple? It was vaguely referent. No,
Do
we
you
actually
know?
We
Do
did
you
not know,
know?
actually. Oh, Rudolph told us we had to... Thank you, man in the sky! Rudolph did tell us we had to go to the Amber Temple. What we seek at the Amber Temple, is that what would free you?
I don't know what you seek. He's going to tell you all specifically as I follow the book's rules. Yeah, through the psychic link.
Yeah.
How
did you know?
He's going to tell you essentially that he's been having dreams and things that are basically drawing him to the Amber Temple. He believes that there is something there that can help break the pack and free Barovia, essentially, from its total curse.
Okay.
Maybe we should not go there first. I say in our heads, since that seems really big and important. Freeing Barovia, maybe that should be our last step.
He's going to tell you he's not 100% sure that this is going to be 100% accurate. He's kind of going by interpretation, but he's had these dreams multiple times. He's been unable to kind of like find a way there safely, I guess you would say. He is willing to help guide you and travel with you as an ally if you wish.
Yeah.
If you wish to undertake this by yourself, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But he feels like that's definitely a location that you want to travel to.
Yes.
To figure out this problem.
We'll take the help too.
If you can break the pack, then essentially people can start going, and he himself will be mighty grateful.
I spoke.
That's
No,
a
I
generous offer to join us, and I think that honestly we could use every ounce of help we could get. And it sounds like your dreams are, at the very least, intuitive. Like maybe we can collectively interpret them, so it would be beneficial, I think. But would your people be okay without you as their leader?
They would be.
We can't guarantee your safety either.
He understands that.
Okay.
He understands this is a big risk.
Mm-hmm.
That kills me.
He will instruct the remaining people that he has here. Some of them are out doing other tasks with some of the Vestani, so when they return, the word can be passed on, but he can have them try to stall or buy more time.
Nothing to get your people killed.
He will explain that for sure.
Yeah, nothing to get your people killed, just anything they can do if they have a dog. I'm
just gonna kind of
She always
start.
sleeps by the fire.
Yes.
I was just gonna kind of start
For
blasting.
those of you watching, my dog randomly entered into the frame here, or into the room. Anyway.
I'm going to start firing off logistical questions, but mainly the question I'm looking for is, do you know about the underground tunnel system?
He does not.
We don't know where it leads to or how far it stretches all over these lands, but it's there, and
We know that people use it for safe travel between cities, and, if we have a guide that knows more about it, it's great.
They have no knowledge of that.
Okay,
I think we stumbled into it by accident,
for
honestly.
sure.
You guys know where, who runs it or has
Yeah.
it.
Mhm, the
Yeah, we know
Ravens.
it's the Ravens, but...
Okay.
Do
know
they
that-
know, that's another question then, do you know about the Ravens?
He does.
Okay.
He knows of the...
Do I get a sense of angst, or it's fine, or fear?
No, he's not afraid. He's
He's
willing
like
to take the knowledge right. It is the Keepers of the Feather is what
Yeah.
the order is.
I will take this time now to actually introduce ourselves, because we didn't do that. We got right
Yeah.
into business.
Yep.
Casimir, I'm Niley. This is Fialova. We have a few other members traveling with us. But I will do everything in my power to keep you safe.
Sure. Okay. So he will, whenever you guys set a time,
Oh, we're
we
leaving
can,
now.
oh, we're leaving now?
Do you need time? We
He
can
will at least need an hour to gather his
That's fine.
things. He will meet you. He looks to where he should meet you.
We have a wagon on the other side of camp,
Yep.
technically.
Mm-hmm.
We have a wagon on the other side of camp.
Okay. He will meet you there within an hour.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if we still have our psychic link, I'm sure it's literally almost faded out. Kind of just send that conversation to Ben,
Yep.
so that Ben knows that we've got him. And we've got
Literally get half the message to him.
Actually, Casimir, why don't we just swing back by and grab you? I don't know if we want you to be hanging with us at the camp and get you in any further
Okay.
trouble. You know what I
I think-
mean?
I think he knows. And I'll just point up to like the sky area.
True.
Like I think he knows.
Okay.
They're getting recognition of thunder lightning. Okay. Only when I call him
Strahd's the best. Nothing.
To wait around for it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then yeah, we'll swing back around for him and we leave. Grab our weapon. So.
Yep.
Did you leave your shield out there?
No, I have my shield. I
Okay.
had a mace, and I think we turned it in at one point, and I really don't care about it.
So you guys, you can go do your things and bring in the other one, and we'll play his out.
Yay!
Also, I would like to mentally, in the connection, be like, I really hate sunshine. I love the rain. I'm trying to reverse psychology him.
It's working.
I really
Feel
love
it.
rain, and rain is great.
Feel it's working.
Okay.
And now we pick back up with the Vistani camp.
So I watch them.
Trail away.
Yeah. Private location. Maybe we can do
Sure. That's what you'll say.
Ash, steel wagon?
Luvash does not have. That's what he's going to say.
Oh, you sleep outside.
He stays here at the tent. Monitors thing.
Alright, lead the way.
He's going to walk and begin to head towards the wagon in which Abigail ran to.
Great.
Which would
I'm
be
gonna
his
make a perception check to see if any movement in the windows or curtains flickering or anything like that. Like
Yep.
sounds.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm
It is
assuming it's
raining.
disadvantage. Oh! That's actually not bad. 16 plus 2 is at disadvantage. Plus 4. 22.
There is light inside the wagon. There are small little tiny windows that are in the sides of the barrel top wagon, or the barrel shaped wagon, and there is light from either candle or lanterns flickering. That's about it.
Okay, so I can't see through anything because what I'm trying to
The windows,
suss out.
the windows are pretty high up, more for light.
Okay, because what I was trying to figure out is if
I know.
inside that, I will say very loudly as we get near the cabin. Where exactly are you taking me, Eric?
Okay.
Gonna buy a girl dinner first.
To roll a percentage die to determine. He opens up the door quickly. He comes in. You will hear and see sitting on the floor playing with her doll, Abigail.
Abigail. Do you like Abby by chance?
I prefer Abigail.
I like Abigail.
So he welcomes you in. He clears off the spot in which the two of you can kind of at a small little table. It's comfortable for a small family.
Okay. And Abigail's gonna.
He will kind of shoo her away to a small little like area that's like
So
her
it's
her
Abigail, Vash, and myself.
room. Luvash does not come in. He stands outside the door.
Okay. So I'll sit down and I kind of like look around. Look around the Vardo.
So the decor in here is fairly simple, but you can definitely see your passive perception is good enough to determine there are several signs of lingering images or tokens or things like that from Esmeralda.
Sure. Is there any vampire hunting stuff inside here as well, or?
Nope, there is not.
Okay, that I can visibly
Yeah,
see. Here.
exactly.
And then the last little kind of check-in I want to do in this space is kind of quietly looking around. Does there appear to be anything now, knowing that Esmeralda is
Mommy.
magical? Are there any other indications of like magical knowledge, or are there books, or are there anything that?
No, anything like that would not be here. It's very simple in
Great.
decor.
I'm gonna take off my hat and kind of reveal the full curved horns, the long still hair, the now more like alien ear features,
Sure.
the kind of stretch, the kind of like
The Fae.
almost let myself go into the Fae a little bit, and like stop holding on to the humanity aspect of it.
I feel like it would take him back a little bit, but then
Yeah.
he's seen a lot of weird shit here, so it's like, okay.
It's like I'm gonna settle with it.
Yep.
What do you know of the Fae? Or
Very little.
hags, or babas, if you will.
They're around, but we stay away from them, that's what he says.
What do you know of Lysaga?
A little, is what I'll say. What do you wish to know about her? Why?
You see, I used to be human, and I feel change. Kind of when I say change or what, the features kind of stretch a little bit.
Sure.
Tale of things in the past. Like being corrupted, changed, infected, set up for something, or transformation. Future, and I feel an itch from her. I see swamp, I see walking tree in the woods. I wish to redeem myself.
Perhaps that is why Strahd wishes for you. That's what he says.
Do you know where she might be?
No, he does not know. He will tell you that if he knew, he would definitely tell you,
As a friend, of course.
of course. But he does not know.
What would you actually do if you found Esmeralda? And things
He's going to tell you, I think you know what I would do. He won't specifically say it because his or their child is in the other area.
Yeah.
But he's already made it pretty clear, essentially.
There was no, like, softening, there was no conflict, there was no...
Well, he would explain it in such a way that's cryptic to a small child. But
Specific thieves can't, or whatever.
so essentially what he's going to tell you is that there was a very passionate, kind of very hot and kind of young romance or fling or things like that, and then obviously she became a child and then kind of just vanished or left.
With no indication as to why.
Nope. So he's been kind of like stuck with her specifically. That sounds off, but you know what I'm saying. He's had to shoulder the responsibility of being
With Abigail.
correct.
by himself.
Yes, that's better.
You know, we just met, and we're friends for now. Person, creature, fae, not sure what, monster, perhaps. Take a step back. Look at the humanity of it all in this horrible world. Things that are lost. As somebody who can leave with his child anytime he wishes. And I implore you, as a child once abandoned, if given the opportunity, I would at least hear Esmeralda.
Give me your persuasion.
I'm assuming I'm way too far to... Well, I don't know how emboldening bond works. I'm assuming that...
It's faded by now.
Okay.
Yep, by the time you were here.
I'm gonna toss the side bolstered knack. 6 plus 10 plus 6 is 22. Oh, no, that's a 9. Sorry. 6 plus 9 is 15 plus 6.
21.
20.
You can see he's not going to admit to it, but you can see that the note has been put on his brain to where there's a possibility that he may give a chance. But
And there are, and truly, the only intentions of these isn't just trying to sow seeds of doubt,
I get it.
like in
Yep.
his.
It seemed, and I would say that your plan is working.
It's like he's playing a long game. I'm doing things that my grandmother would have taught me.
Correct.
Which is like, throw out all your pawns at first
See what bites
and
and
see what happens.
yeah. Yep.
And truly, I think if we had met under different circumstances, we really would be friends.
Perhaps.
But for now, I think our game of cat and mouse may pursue, or ensue, I guess. I'm a wheeler, so if anything presents itself, and vice versa. I am truly looking for Lysa. She has cast something upon my compatriots, myself. I wish to solve that problem.
If it is true, what you're saying, the gods have mercy. So,
My friend, I'm not sure I have a soul left. Be interested to find out.
and see.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to pick back up as you all reconvene together. You guys can share. I would say with the
The
psychic link, you
was
kind
only
of
active for
yes, and it
Yes.
would have been enough to basically confirm that they have kind of brokered a deal for another ally, Casimir. They will fill you in.
He's very hot.
Essentially to kind of montage all this stuff up.
Casimir.
Are
And
you-
like flag him up with the star.
Well, first of all, you collect the 5 horses.
Yes.
You have your 5 horses.
Yes.
You rendezvous back with a wagon first.
Get them updated on everything.
Correct. So they are aware of everything. After you've done that, the 2 of them will share that Casimir has become an ally. He is a dusk elf.
Yes.
They can fill you in, obviously, what the note card said. You guys will be rendezvousing with him at his hovel
Yes.
and picking him up. He wishes
not
to.
meeting us outside of town to make sure. 'Cause
Nope.
there'd
They
be
had
babysat.
brokered. They had brokered essentially.
Cool.
We'll pick you up.
Okay.
And there's some good. I don't want to say good, but there's some. He's going to ally you because he feels very strongly about the Amber Temple.
Right, which Rudolph mentioned as well. The faceless, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to go there.
So that's kind of where we'll pick up with you guys.
Mhm.
Where do you wish to go from here?
We have to make the show of going back to the lackey.
Well, Nightly thinks we're going to St. Markovia's Avenue, so...
Well, no. We know that we're going to the lake after this because we have to go figure out who the fuck this wizard is and his servant. Which I don't know what that means. We've got to update Rudolph. We have to make sure Ez is fucking with us.
I would confirm that she would reveal herself, or
Okay.
let you know once you guys have followed all this stuff and you guys have collected your ally. You would eventually know.
Wow. They had enough horses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6 rumbles.
Rumbles.
So we have somebody who has to double up. I'm little.
6.
No, I'm 6 foot tall.
Yeah, I don't think the
6 feet.
fully plate armored people can ride on the same.
We would have to take someone who's not armored. 'cause
Ez and
that would
I,
be-
for example, Ez and I would have to ride together. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're both in leathers, I think.
That would be pretty accurate.
Is Casimir in full armor?
He would brandish leathers.
Okay. So,
He's very much like maybe even studded leathers.
yeah. But elves are pretty light
He's lean,
as a...
and he dresses much like a wood elf would,
Okay.
except like
Let
the
him.
colorings.
Are you good at tracking, Casimir?
He's fairly good at it. He knows lands fairly well. He can give you the directions on which you need to go to get to the Amber Temple. He knows roughly how to get there. He tells you that's at the very end of a long road up in the mountain.
So we need to go back to, if it's up in a mountain, I'm assuming we need cold weather clothing.
That'd be correct.
We need to go check out this lake. My vote, and we need to make it seem like we are heading to Markovia, and whoever is watching us, we've got time to do that,
Yeah.
right? So wherever we head, we need to make it, like, leave out of the western side of town, make a big stink with the guards, basically leave a trail of indicating that we're heading in that
You
direction.
can also ask Rudolph for help with that.
100%.
Some members about us.
100%. Even if he goes by 5 or 6 horses and just rides towards Markovia.
Yeah.
Because he said he had a place too, right? Or the wagon.
Can we send out a decoy crew from the Dusk Elves?
So Aragel knows what Rudolph's wagon looks like and knows that Ez is in that. Oh! Okay.
I was gonna say if Casimir was open to it, he could ride with me.
Oh, absolutely.
So
It could be-
if Aragel knows what that wagon looks like, if we sent Rudolph towards the direction of where this wagon is and send him to Markovia and make a big stink about taking his wagon to Markovia, it would appear that we are not just traveling to Markovia, that we are traveling to Markovia with somebody that Argo wants to fucking murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big risk on, and we would have to lay that out with Rudolph, but basically say, like, you are going to be the biggest piece of meat, and we'll probably die.
Yeah. Maybe not lead with that.
But he's got tricks that he can't escape.
Esmeralda, who will be there.
Yeah.
Before you're not leaving, correct? You're kind of having the sidebar before
It's like
you
as
leave?
we're walking to back to blank.
Okay, fair enough. She's searching for that wagon. That is her wagon.
Oh, shit.
She lost her wagon.
The wagon was taken.
Wagon got taken.
Right, by Rudolph.
Very good. So she's trying to find it and keeps moving it.
Ez, did you see your daughter?
I have seen her.
Did you see her today?
From the windows.
You did not speak to her, you did not let her see you.
She does not know who I am.
It's been like that.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
She's been safer with her father than she would be.
the man who's hanged himself with Strahd. You feel good about that decision?
Feeling good about the decision, no. Guaranteeing that she will not be touched because of the deals, yes, until I can kill Strahd.
Well, look at this guy.
You get the vibe and the feel essentially like there's a vendetta, or there's something like Strahd is definitely going to start coming at, or has come after her. There's been some confrontation.
What is your issue with Strahd?
I just feel like
I
everyone is
mean,
looking back.
looks around like she was a Vistani, and she's been living life on and off here in Barovia, and it's miserable. And she's had family essentially that were kind of oppressed by him. And
So you were trying to make a better life for your daughter, is what you were saying.
That's what she would indicate.
No, I thought she would.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure our guest is very comfortable.
Right, willing to
Getting along.
lose your wagon. Is there anything on it that you need?
Her wagon essentially is a magical fortress for her. It's booby trapped to protect it. It has a lot of gizmos and gadgets and things for hunting monsters.
Is it a domicile as well? Like a
It is very
recreational vehicle?
it is. You can live in it. It's kind of like a mobile home essentially.
Yeah, but it puts a big fucking target on
It does. It does. Rudolph has been hiding it because it is a bit of a target, so he's been shuffling it around. I've been trying to acquire it, but he's
good at what he does.
Yep, and he won't let me have it back. I don't know why.
Perhaps he's trying to protect you.
That's a valid point. That's an inspiration point if you want.
I'll take it.
Because she didn't think that way because of histories in the past.
Right. Well, we gleaned that sort of from the conversation
I would say
at
so.
the tavern.
I would say, well, on the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, when we were with Rudolph and her together.
Oh, absolutely.
We would have seen
Yes.
the relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he was like, no, I'll sow seeds of discord.
Yep.
She was like, no, I can do it. And he's like,
Rudolph,
You're not.
now that some of these pieces are falling, Rudolph might know that she has a child, or may have gleaned information and other things.
And
And
he
he's
himself-
lost a
Yeah.
child, had to kill his own child because he was a spawn, if you remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, I would say, as you guys are traveling, I'm assuming by horseback, everybody go ahead and give me animal handling checks to ride these ponies. It is very muddy, but you're on horses, which is good. The wagon. What are we doing with the wagon? Are you leaving the wagon behind? Just so I know.
do we leave it
Yeah.
at the Vistani camp? I don't think we leave it at the Vistani camp. I think we leave it in town if Rudolph wants to use it as this is the direction that we all traveled in.
So here's what I would have proposed, that you would have went ahead and sent Avram and
Roads back.
Rhodes ahead,
Yeah.
saying leave it with Rudolph. So they would have been doing that, and you guys would be
Correct.
Okay, fair assumption. What is everybody's animal handling check?
19.
Well,
What does my horse look like?
What do you want your horse to look like?
Shut up.
Yeah.
I want it to be.
Little bows in his mane? Or her
I want it to be one of those. No. I want it to be one of those
Yes.
black horses with like the white rumps and like the Dalmatian spots
Yeah.
on the back. Yeah, that's what I wanted to look
Okay, fair.
tough. Probably solid black.
Fair, like the one that you saw,
Yeah.
the flaming horse.
Yep.
Yeah, fair.
Yep.
Just like a brown horse, just like
Just a,
normal.
just a generic.
brown
Okay.
horse, maybe with some socks.
Sure.
Some
Okay.
black socks
Okay.
on one of its legs.
Does it have one of those white strips down its face, or is it all
Yeah.
brown?
Imagine
Yeah,
a
a
horse.
white. Yep.
That is
If you imagined a horse, it is exactly what you're imagining.
standard issue.
Just a standard issue military horse.
Okay.
His name,
Fair.
I don't know if he had a name before, but now his name is Jellybean. He's a licorice flavored jelly bean.
I like it.
Once I verified that he's not a person inside.
So I would say the 12, the horse is going to rear up,
Yeah.
and you are going to maintain your posture and be able to ride the horse down and kind of get it under control. But the rest of you would be riding. What's your riding order? Just so I know.
I'll go first.
We're
Yeah,
in the middle.
We're in the last because I
Maybe
can't.
we're next to each
Okay,
other.
so since you are first, and Esmeralda is with you,
Yeah.
in the distance, through the fog, kind of working its way through the fog, there's going to be the silhouette of a figure that seems to be wandering down the pathway. It is a female sob that is crying, confused and weeping, crying out, "Hello, hello, someone, anyone!" That's what you're going to.
Fucking done this before. The last time we saw a scary woman in the woods, I got my soul sucked from it. This is fucking bullshit. And the very first thing I want to do. I could do a puff of wind
Sure. To
with
move the fog.
prestidigitation, and I would want to move the fog around her to see if it scatters her, reveals
Sure.
something.
It does. It'll give you enough glimpse to see that this person is barely clothed. The clothes have been tattered, torn. They're soaked full of mud or dirt. The hair kind of falls down in front of the face. It's all matted with dirt or something like that, and just soaked, dripping, slightly shivering because there's very little to cover. You're the only one that's going to see that this looks like Nymora. And I think that's where we're going to end this episode. So, since this concludes our episode, please stay tuned to see what happens next. We are Crit Eating Grin. Hit the subscribe button, please. If you already haven't. If you have, we want to thank you for your support. And until next time, please keep
I'm going to
grinning.
my safe space.